the legend, that was Pete Reeves.
I always used to think he looked a bit like the guy out of the film The Warriors. There's a bad guy in the film The Warriors, and he had a very similar face. And the guy in the film used to go, "Warriors, come out to play." He got 3 bottles, and I used to go, "Pete, you look like that guy. Warriors, come out to play," with the little bottles. But he didn't know I was on. He thought I was mad.
I first met Pete in Moseley about over 30 years ago, and I didn't get to know him for about 25 years ago, maybe 23 years ago, but he's always been a fantastic friend to me, and I used to love going to his gigs because he was always warm and welcoming, and he'd give anyone a gig, and he was a great guy to be around. He would give people their chance, whereas many other places wouldn't, and he was happy to do that. And because he did that, many people went on to do very well and do very good things in music, and I think that's all down to Pete. And I used to go to the Old Mo gig every Sunday night, and I went for many years, and I used to love it. I couldn't wait to get there, and I always remember he used to sit across the other side of the wall from the door, and when he'd see me come in, he used to go like this to me every time. He never failed to do it, and he'd give me a little smile as if to say, "Welcome, nice to see you," you know. And he helped me a lot during those years, because I was really seriously ill and I was on crutches and I couldn't walk, and he was very compassionate and kind, empathetic, and I never fell out with him, and yeah, what a great man. He was the king of the open mic in Birmingham, and you know, we're all feeling this really badly because he was the leader of our tribe, and he's passed, and it's, you know, it's a big thing. And his beautiful partner Catherine as well, what a lovely woman. She also helped me a lot, and yeah, so there we go. I'll miss him terribly. You know, I was very sad when I got the news that he'd passed away, and yeah, it's a big deal for me, and also for many other people across the whole of Birmingham, I believe, but I would say mainly South Birmingham, because that was Pete's stomping ground, as they say, you know.
My name's Marigold, and Peter was my father. He meant the absolute world to me, and he was a big part of my life, obviously, as my dad, and was a big reason as to like who I am as a person and my music and my interests and stuff. My dad introduced me like to football and stuff, which I didn't really like, but I learned to love it because he loved it so much. I miss him a lot. It's quite a big impact on my family and me, losing him, because he was such a big part of everything, you know. He was the one that drove as well, so we're missing a driver. No, it's just my dad, you know, Pete. There's only one of him, and just such a unique character. No one can match that energy that he brought to the table, and all the people and experiences that he had, and putting on the music for everyone and giving people a chance to express themselves. I'm so proud that he was my dad, really, for that, and yeah, and I'm really glad that everyone was here today to love him and show their love for him and be here to say goodbye, I guess. But it's never his goodbye, it's just see you later.
Pete and I supported each other because I used to put shows on at the station.
called The Platform every month, and Pete used to come along and support that, and I used to go along and support his shows at the Chaos and we were very beneficial to each other. You know, two of three, I would say three main local promoters around here, Manny being the third who runs the No Covers Club. Yeah, we all looked after each other and bigged up our events. And Pete, I saw Pete play with his band, so at Cosmic Jerks. In fact, I think I may have met Pete first through the Cosmic Jerks rather than at the Old Mo, because they came in to record at Highbury Studio when I was engineering there, and they recorded an album there. And I'm not sure, that may be the first time I saw Pete, or again I may have seen them live. I do know they were the first band to play at the Platform at the station, with Pete obviously, and they were the last band to play at the Platform of the station before I did the Christmas shows, sadly without Pete, I'm afraid. And he used to sing with the Acoustic Who. I saw them play a few times. So yeah, I've known him on and off over the years. He's a really lovely bloke, great promoter as well.
There is a guy there, everybody knows. You see, put the music right into your very soul. And if you catch him, you catch him do his thing. You could help but join him, you could help but sing. His song goes, rock that rhythm and roll up, rock that rhythm and roll, rock that rhythm and roll up, rock that rhythm. He said, love, love is the drug, yeah, only drug that we need. He said, love, my friend, might be my drug, but I like a bit of, ooh, you know.
I met Pete about, I'd say it's about 15 years ago now. It was a place called The George, just at the top of Digbeth, and you just walk down a couple of steps. It was the first time I ever went out to look for kind of an open mic thing, and when I walked in, Ian was sitting, Coyote was sitting on a stall playing a song, I think it was The Jam, down in the tube station. Then after him, Brendan, Big Bren, came on, did some poetry, and I just fell in love with the place. But then Pete introduced himself, and the most genuine man I think I'd met. And I just wanted to get back into music, really. So I played in a band in the 80s, and so I went every week. And then the one week he said, do you want to do a song? And I'd never picked up the guitar before and played in front of anyone. So I said, you know, obviously I would. And from that day, I've never looked back. So I owe him quite a lot. And I went to a lot of his other nights that he was doing at the Old Mo, and he put me on for half an hour and stuff. And it basically, it gave me so much confidence, lots of friends, and a great circle of people to know. And so I wrote a song. After I heard him playing one of his own, he had a song called Rock That Rhythm, and it was a fantastic song. So I wrote a song dedicated to Pete, which I'm going to be playing tonight, and it incorporates that Rock That Rhythm. So a lot of people know that little line, but it just talks about him being known around Birmingham as a one-off, and just a genuinely nice man. And so you know, I'm honoured to be asked to come and play that song tonight, so there you go. That's how I know Pete, and as he always says, love is the drug, man.
Rock that rhythm and roll, rock that rhythm, rock that rhythm and roll, rock that rhythm.
Yeah, it's got to be about 2017 when I was toying with the idea of doing a kind of open mic myself. It may have been after February, so I was going around looking for artists, I think. And that's where I first came across Every Thread in the upstairs room. I thought they were brilliant. And I saw English Jones, and there was a lovely vibe and atmosphere upstairs, and Pete was great. And I've never seen. He reminded me of who did he remind me of? Russell Gummidge. At first, he was a great bloke. He was always welcoming and encouraging. I felt very inspired by how he ran his open mic, and he was very personable. He talked to people. I can tell that he was well respected and liked. I thought that was good. He always struck me as a wonderful soul. His personality always came across. I don't see people's auras, but my spirit took to him, I would say. Just a lovely spirit, human being. And I like the fact he gave us an opportunity to play when I was with the sitting room. We played there a few times. Someone should continue music there, you know, at the old Moseley Arms. It's a shame to let it just fizzle out. Don't know if we should call it. Can't call it a Chaos Acoustic, but it'd be nice to have something in his honour continuing. I'll talk to Catherine about it.
He was my man, my soulmate, my great love. I fell in love with him as soon as I saw him. We met at an old Irish pub in Birmingham called the Castle and Falcon. And I was with a male friend. We'd just come back from the pictures. And later Peter thought that he was my boyfriend. But so he didn't approach me. But as soon as I saw him, he was with a lot of friends. And I saw a golden light around his head. And I looked into his eyes and I just fell for him. We happened to meet again, maybe a week or so later at a friend's house. And it started from there, you know. He was known for taking his clothes off in Moseley. And when I was on a date with him, it was at the Regency. It's a posh Indian restaurant now. But they said, no, you can't come in. You need to wear a tie. And he said, I'm not only not going to wear a tie, but I'm going to wear nothing. And he started taking his clothes off. And I didn't know about his past. So I walked away embarrassed. But we met later at the Cannon Hill Park. And he explained his history to me. And I forgave him. But for over 30 years, I was with him and loving him loving me. I went to many, many of his gigs. I helped at his Chaos Acoustic nights, putting out the candles and the flyers and selling the raffle tickets for the orgasmic organic wine that our daughter is now selling the tickets. And he was just great, a wonderful guy. He didn't have to do much for me or say much to me. It's just his company was beautiful, and we treasured each other. And towards the end, when he couldn't come out and to gigs or see friends, you know, I'd say sometimes, maybe call them. There's hundreds of musicians, you know, Pete. Call them. Maybe they can come to you. And he eventually said, no, Kath, I'd rather just be with you. And it's a few weeks after that he passed very, very, very quickly. Some people are saying it was a blessing that he went so quick, because I was prepared to care for him. But maybe it is a blessing that he went so, because he was very poorly, very quickly. And so maybe his time had come. It's like he did know. It's like he'd started a journey, wandering from room to room and not being able to settle. And when I tried to lie him down, actually, on the Monday before he passed on the Tuesday, he said, "What are you doing, Kath?" He hardly was speaking that day. And I said, "I'm trying to lie you down, Peter, because you haven't rested all day." And it's like he knew. It's like, why do I need to lie down and rest? I'm on my way somewhere. And yeah, he's still with us. Look at the pink in the sky there. Pink, I've just seen. See the pink hue? Yeah. How beautiful is that? Because my sleep had changed, and I was looking outside the kitchen window. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and our fences had blown down because of the storm, so it was open to wild that leads out to the River Ray. We live just down from here, and I saw a little jack deer, and he just looked at me. He didn't come into the garden, and then I saw the head of another little jack deer, but I did feel as though Peter was visiting me in spirit, and I was very comforted by that. And also when I was with my grandchildren, shortly after Peter passed, we saw 4 rainbows, including one double rainbow. You don't see those very often, do you? And rainbows, as Peter knows, very, very, very special to me. Whenever I see a rainbow, if I'm with people, I'm like, "Oh, look, it's a rainbow," because I think they're a miracle. I think they're a miracle. And so it's like, again, visiting. So he's with me in spirit. I've been telling people to carry his love with him in his heart. We're going to try and keep his Chaos Acoustic Club going, like we've started tonight. And as he used to say, love is the drug. Love is the drug, man. And he was just great. Massive hippie back in the 70s. People have called him the king of, the hippies in Moseley. And but yeah, he didn't only walk barefoot. He used to walk with nothing on. So, but he did have a beautiful body. And then later, when he was in rock bands, he used to say, "You can have a body like mine if you're not careful." But he did have a beautiful body, and beautiful man, beautiful soul, very well loved. I miss him, but I'll carry him with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next artist of the evening, the wonderful Mr. Mike Gates.
I'd just like to say it is an honour and a privilege to be here tonight, come out of semi-retirement to do this, and I'm getting old, so I'm getting old. So thanks to Kath for the invite. Hope you enjoy.
Pete was 1 in a million. Buddy, we all think of you still, even now, and we always will. First met Pete probably about 20-25 years ago at one of the gigs that we were all doing. Got to know him really well through the Chaos Acoustic Club. He was one of those guys that he was just really encouraging, really helpful, love of music, love of people, and a love of life. And I think that's what I'll remember him for anyway. Cracking guy. Checking the chicken, Pete.
It's a very short song, but I want to dedicate this to Pete. Gonna fly me a rocket, gonna fly the empty sky, like a cowboy on a prairie. Better days gone by. Gonna fly me a rocket, gonna fly the empty sky, gonna find me a planet where there ain't no human cry. fighting. I'm leaving all these wars. I'm leaving this place for the love that I have stored. I'm leaving for the stars. Who knows what I will find? I'm leaving this place, my body and mind.
I first met Pete in about 1999. I was knocking around with a guitarist I knew, Jason Hyde, and we learned there's an open mic happening in a pub called the Moseley Arms, which Pete was running. So we went down there and just had a look at it. Jason went on, he'd become a success, he went on, and I had loads of I was trying to write songs with Jason at the time, but I had loads of lyrics that I just longed about, and I was encouraged to bring some of my lyrics down and try them out as poems. And then, so I've done a few, and Pete said, "That's not bad, come back and do some more." And then I quickly learned that if you're playing the pubs, you've got a bit of fruity language here and there. And when they did, my career took off, and now I'm in the position of published a few books, and it's all thanks to Pete Reeves.
He was very open to what we were doing, and his spirit and good sense of being who he is. I actually sensed his spirit yesterday, it was good. It floated in when we were rehearsing.
I used to be part of the Balls Leaf
Mafia
Carnival in the 80s, so I do, and he was in a band called the Sidekicks. I thought these are really good. I really liked these. He's really kind of. He was a great frontman. He was really kind of giving it to the audience. I like bands who really kind of engage with the audience. He was really good at that. So that's my background through Pete. I know he's from Sturchley. I live in Sturchley as well. So that's why.
And that's one of his illegitimate children.
I'd like to say something as well. The first time I met Pete, the first couple of words he said was "love is the drug," and that was it. I just fell in love.
Love is the drug.
And this was at the old Moseley Arms. The old Moseley Arms.
He loved that club, didn't he?
I went to all the gigs on the Sunday night, 3 gigs on the Sunday night, and the man was pure love. Became good friends. And it's all he missed. Obviously,
but he's not far away.
Yeah. Energy never dies.
Just
so
out of
he's
our
up there
sight.
somewhere now, looking down at us.
He knows what we're doing. He's cool as fuck. He was like an American Indian, like white one. Pale face.
Well, he brought so much joy to people.
He was an integrator of communities of love. He'll be there. Our turn will be one day. Hungry. Someone else will be going oh, remember Martin and Mick and James and Chuchu Putu and Palanga and Cosmic Moth Boy.
Who's defeated?
Who's defeated?
Cheers. I was was having a drink at the Old Mosley Arms in the lounge, and I saw Pete lugging this very heavy speaker, and he was going to lug it upstairs. Now, the Old Mosley Arms, if you know it, is stairs are very narrow. The speaker was massive, and I thought, this ain't right. So I said, okay, I'm going to help you. So I started helping him every Sunday to lug all his gear up, him and Tony. And then I started sitting down there and listening to the music. I went, oh my God, this is fantastic. This man's bringing joy. Him and Tony bringing joy to everyone. And then I got to know him. It felt like a little family. We used to have a little gathering at the Omo every Sunday, and it was like a little bit of light, additional light to my heart, which was such a beautiful thing. There's so much I can say, but it's difficult, honestly. But happiness, love, there was always love, there was always hugs, there was always laughter. And I'd like to finish off with this and to say love is the drug, because that's what it was. It was beautiful.
One of the great things about the Chaos Acoustic Club was that people were quiet when people were playing and they listened to the music. This is a song I first performed at the Chaos Acoustic Club, the very first time I've performed it. And Pete came up to me afterwards and he said he absolutely loved this song. So I think this is probably was Pete's favourite song of mine. So. Right, third time lucky, here we go. Punctured by idiocy, fall down again. This time, love will not save me, 'cause my shame remains. All that I promised you will be there in time. Your patience and kindness has kept me alive. Here we are again, still raging at the wall, and we've tried.
He's an amazing guy, because the great thing about Pete, so my ex-girlfriend Colette, who also used to run an open mic in Birmingham, said you can judge an open mic by the person, you have to judge it by the person who runs it. That's whether it lasts or not. So the fact, and she said, you know, there's a lot of people who run open mics and they don't care about the musicians and they just like, oh, blah, 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 they just getting drunk or whatever. Pete was always present with the musicians who did it, and he kind of made sure he kind of showed them that he loved them and he kind of loved music and everything. And that's why it lasted so long, because artists felt loved by him, which is a really, I think it's a rare thing. And he was a beautiful soul, God bless him. And it was like, that's what he did. He just made people feel better about themselves, loved people, loved music and loved freedom. And that's like, it's pretty cool, you know. I don't think I've heard anyone say a bad word against Pete ever, as far as musicians go, you know. And how great is it to run a kind of, you know, no offence to Birmingham, but they love their blues, they love their covers bands, they love all the kind of like all these different things that aren't to do with creativity. He ran that kind of thing that was purely to do with people creating their own music for so many years, and it was like always full of people, and he always celebrated people, and made them feel welcome and knew which bands were playing, which artists he liked, what their music was like and everything, and put it together with a lot of love. God bless him. God bless you, Pete.
Pete Reeves, what a beautiful man he was. We all love you, mate. You're here with us. Come on guys, don't try, have a dance, yeah? Here we go. I've never been alone. I need you guys home. Please scroll down to my name. We are so glad this again.
I met him down the Market Tavern. He was doing not an open mic, but a music night like he used to do. And I just liked him instantly and chatted to him, and then we decided almost instantly we'd try and get a band together. And yeah, it grew from there really. That's probably 20 years ago now. So, but some of his stories and yeah, running naked round Moseley, very hippie. You know, he didn't care. He didn't care about what anyone thought. He was just a lovely, lovely human being that had time and love for everybody, the way I remember him. And I saw him do that many times. So, yeah, big miss for everyone. So, yeah.
Tony, I'm the sound engineer, and we've just finished a gig for Pete at Highbury. I'd just like to say, like, I met Pete about 30 years ago. I was in a band, and he sort of asked me to do the sound one night because his sound engineer let him down. And I said, okay, I'm only doing one. I said, I ain't doing no more, just the one. He was like, yeah, okay. And then like 30 years later, still doing it. And he kept me doing it because he just inspired me so much. The amount of stuff you get off Pete, his energy just draws you in. And yeah, it kept me going. And his little text messages they used to send me, you know, love you man, loves the drug, you know, keep it, all this stuff like that. But then I went on to do like Acoustic Who gigs and other stuff, and we've just done so many venues around Birmingham and out to Birmingham. And he's just a lovely guy, and I miss him loads. And I'm going to miss him loads. It's never going to settle really, but I have to look at the good stuff. And he left a good mark on a lot of people, and I'm sure that there's a hell of a lot of people who have got a little bit of Pete in their heart, and they'll carry that for the rest of their life, and that's just amazing. Thank you for everyone that's supported Pete, and if you were lucky enough to meet him, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't need to say all that anymore. But thank you, Pete. Thank you very much.
When we were kids, you did exist. The sweetest lips I'd ever kissed, the loveliest hair I'd ever seen. Your beauty was my living dream.
Love is the drug, don't forget.
I'll never know why, so down.